Hey, welcome to another episode of the Philosophy Podcast. I am your host, Controversy, and to my right, ladies and gentlemen, my co-host, none other than Mr.
Darren Love.
And together, we are the Philosophy Podcast. Thank you to you guys for tuning in to a brand new episode. Thank you for tuning in once again this week, guys. And like we always say, what is on the agenda for this week, mate? What is today's
Hot topic.
That's it.
I thought we'd talk about one of the most important subjects in the world, education, I think.
Education.
Yeah, I
Wow.
think it's really sort of important
Yeah.
thing to talk about, really.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. A vital component of life, essentially, isn't it?
Yeah, what is education, and what is the right things to learn and what is the wrong things to learn, basically. Because I think there are wrong things to learn in life, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. You can learn bad. Yeah.
Well, there's certain things I don't want to learn in life. I choose not to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of different things to learn in life, isn't there? Like learning how to walk,
Yeah.
learning how to talk, learning how to make friends, and so on. I just feel like even sex education, there's just so many different
Elements of
education, yeah. And I feel like sometimes people might waste years on educating themselves on something. That's absolutely pathetic, really. That's not even worth learning.
Yeah, not useful in any way.
To
Not beneficial.
Not really, no. I also feel that we rely on each other to learn, to share information, so we can all become better together.
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, that's how it works. That's even if people don't like the way it works. That is the way it works, essentially.
We need to be educated about the law,
Yeah.
our human rights. But I feel like even when I was at school, I don't know about your circumstances, but at school I don't feel like they educated me about the law and about my rights and as a human being.
Yeah.
Where you would have to go to special school, I think, to learn about law.
Yes.
After school.
Yes, of course, yeah.
See, and I think it's something that they need to learn at first year of school, if you ask me.
Yeah, I know, I agree with you. I think there's lots of things that should be instilled within the education system that are missing today, like things like you're saying. The whole teaching people about their human rights and all these various different things. Because these are things that everyone should just know naturally as a person. Everyone, as a human being, it's called human rights for a reason. Because we're all human beings. So naturally, everyone should be aware of their human rights, if you see what I mean. Like you said, there are definitely things that are missing that we both agree from the school curriculum, if you see what I mean. Things that are missing that could be added to the curriculum that would be very beneficial, very educational. So,
But even learning how to cook.
Yeah.
Another thing. Well, some people don't know how to cook. Some people do. Some people know to draw.
Yeah.
Some people don't.
Yeah.
Some people know to ice skate. Some people don't. And so on. It's like that.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. But I just feel like there's so many avenues of education in the world today. And like, for instance, like computers. They've only just come in.
Yeah.
And they weren't learning about computers sort of 50 years ago. Because they weren't around. Now it's everyone needs to learn about computers and so on. It's a new world to learn about, basically.
Yeah.
You need a degree about it, really, to learn, to understand computers. You need to sort of go to school every day for quite a while just to learn about a computer.
Yeah, integrated technology.
Yeah.
That's what it used to be. That's what it used to be called when I was at school.
When can you stop learning about the internet or computers or software or hardware?
Yeah.
When can you stop learning about it? That's the thing. That's the question. We can't, can we? It goes on and on, doesn't it? So we've learned whatever we've got today.
Yeah.
I don't know what the most advanced microchip is today, the fastest processor at the moment, but will they improve it in 10 years' time?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think that's it's it's almost something that's naturally embedded in us as human beings, mate. It's almost like man is always trying to advance.
Yeah.
If you see what I mean, trying to evolve in different ways, whether it be technologically or etc. If you see what I mean, especially this last 100 years, mate. In terms of like technologically, we've come so far in the last 150 years. If you see what I mean.
Yeah.
I
think we get more advanced every decade that goes by.
Yeah.
We just speed up a little bit. It's the next generation coming along. They pick up the young people, and that's the way it kind of works.
You see this young generation that are coming into the world now, mate. A lot of these young children, mate, they're very advanced.
That's right.
From a very, very young age. Even my daughter, my daughter is 4 years old, mate, and my daughter works and uses the computer every day.
Yeah, I remember my daughter
by herself. She knows how to use it, how to turn it on, how to go into programs, how to select what she wants, whether it be one of her colouring games that she does, or a learning game, like, doing the, alphabet and numbers and shapes and all that type of stuff that you teach, because my daughter's only 4, she's going to be 5 soon. So yeah, like, she can work the computer. If she wants to watch Netflix, she knows she has to click on the kid's profile to watch what she wants to watch, if you see what I mean, her programs, if you see what I mean. She understands that that's the one she has to use and click on. And she will then she would then at 4 years old, mate. And like today, like even like the way she was talking to me, I wish I could recollect right now what she was saying to me right now. I can't at this time. We talked about a lot, but I was just chatting with her this afternoon, and the way she was stringing her sentences together, and the things that she was telling me, and the way that she was like, just like articulating herself as a 4-year-old, about to be 5.
Becoming someone.
And the way she was talking was like she was like 8 or 9 years old, 10 years old.
I've seen it actually,
If you see what I mean, she's really, and all that shy behaviour. Like remember when you first used to come around, that shyness now, all that's gone now.
Yeah.
That's completely gone now. She's not shy anymore at all now. She's really outgoing. Like everything she'd be like, because obviously now she'd be going to nursery. She'd be going to like sometimes when she goes to church with mummy on a Sunday. Sometimes she goes to a little children's group, if you see what I mean. So she gets to go with other children and gets to learn and play and whatever, mingle.
Meeting a lot of other children her own age.
Exactly. So now even all that shyness is gone. But like what I was trying to say is just that children today are so advanced. It's almost like the other day, I watched a podcast with these young 16, 17-year-old, like 4, but it's probably like 5 or 6 of them all together, and they're talking about deep metaphysical, all kinds of deep, like really deep conversation, intellectual conversations, conspiracies, you name it, whatever, if you see what I mean. And these were 16-year-old kids, if you see what I mean, and the amount of knowledge and information that they were able to talk about during this podcast, and you know what I mean, and whatever else, talking about all sorts of different shit, if you see what I mean. It was amazing, if you see what I mean. They were all so knowledgeable, so, passionate as well.
I think
it's great.
Since the internet's been invented, I think, not everyone, because some people don't even touch it.
Yeah.
But the people that do, they can see it.
I
think that we're. I mean, I spend a lot of time on the internet. To be honest with you, I find it fascinating. It's the place that I educate myself. On. And to be honest with you, I think I feel like in the last, because I've had it for a number of years now, and it's speeded up every year that goes by. I just feel like I've educated myself in a very quick way with it, since it's been invented. I mean, I wish it was invented 50 years ago, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I feel like I would have been even more smarter by now.
Yeah.
If you see where I'm coming from. But it wasn't. It was invented when it was, and it's speeded up, and now it's very super fast, whatever. And I can't believe how beautiful the place is actually. How all the software got better, whatever, and it used to crash every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It used to sort of like run on computers, but I don't find many crashes now. Or anything. My computer runs smoothly, and the internet runs smoothly, and it's fast as well.
Yeah.
And I say it's got to be the best library in the world, because it is a library, isn't it? And you can find any information you want.
Well, yeah.
You can Google any word and find the meaning of it. You can You can go into chemistry if you want to.
Anything.
Anything you want to.
Yeah.
You can even learn how to cook on it.
And but also YouTube is kind of the same too today as well, in a sense too. You know. That not everyone, because don't get me wrong, you can't listen to all these people, but there are also a lot of people on YouTube that really do teach some good shit. If you see what I mean, really, you know.
Well, I believe that from what I've been doing for a number of years, I go out learning stuff. I research and search the internet for maybe beautiful birds and things, and then I search for good quotes to go with it. And I kind of educate myself with these quotes a bit, you know, learn a little bit of philosophy. And I've been doing it for a number of years, you know. When I first got the internet, I couldn't read or write very well. That's the truth, you know. I couldn't read or write when I was 16 very well. And then never, you know, I went to work sort of like, I went to college and then to do construction course. And then I was working building trade most of my life. And then I met a girl, you know, and had a family, and then got married and things, you know, and whatever. And I didn't have time to sort of spend money to go to school, English school, back then, or anything, you know. And the internet slowly come in, and I've just basically taught myself how to read and write. And now I had a little bit more time in the last 7 years. I've actually educated myself, caught up, because that's what I wanted to do, you know. Because I feel like when I was at school, I didn't like it at all. Didn't like my experience, my first 2 years experience. I was locked up in a cupboard, picked on a lot, put in the cupboard a lot, and I didn't really learn much. You know, and I won't forget it. You won't, you know, a child doesn't forget things. And I feel like, I mean, she didn't sexually abuse me or anything, or physically abuse me, just locked me up in the cupboard.
But that's kind of, it's still psychological abuse in a way. You get locked up in a bloody, getting locked up in a cupboard is bloody.
It changed me. That's why I am
today. It's isolation. You're essentially being isolated from the rest of the class.
I was.
And teacher.
And I had parent problems because they split up, whatever, you know. But you know, I think like every child experiences different childhood.
Of course.
In a kind of way, we get different friends, you know. As I said before, even my brother, even though we slept in the same room all the time, we had different childhood. He was in 2 years, I didn't really see him much.
2 years older.
But going back to school, I didn't really enjoy it much. You know, I couldn't wait to go outside the real world and learn. That's what I felt. And I mean, when I was a child, when I was 7, I was into insects, and I remember enjoying myself in my nan's garden. My nan had a lot of children there, so I was quite happy. Didn't want to go to school. And then as soon as you do go to school and you're being pulled into the cupboard all the time, you're not going to enjoy it. And then you lose trust, really, as a little child on the whole education system, I suppose, you know, as a child. And when I come out of our class, I went to maybe normal classes after that. They didn't lock me in the cupboard, but I was behind in education.
Yeah, of course, because that whole time you've been being locked up in a bloody cupboard.
To be honest, I just wanted, I turned to drawing. That's what I turned to. I just wanted to draw after that, I felt like I was drawing.
Gravitated towards art.
Doodling, whatever, drawing. And they said, stop daydreaming, Darren. You know, and I used to get told off for it after that. And then locked up in the cupboard so much. But pay attention, Darren, you know. And I felt like very uncomfortable at school, it's a bit like a hostage feeling, that you're very uncomfortable, that you're in a room in a class that you don't even want to be in. And you don't even really want to learn the subject, whatever they're teaching. And I know they're trying to teach these children, help them, whatever, but I felt like, I just feel that children, we all need to learn in life, and education is very important. But I just feel like they educate children in a forceful way. And sometimes, like, don't fight and all this kind of stuff when you're only sticking up for yourself. And sometimes I used to get into trouble when I knew that I was doing right in a situation, if you see what I mean. And that, you know, the headmasters didn't even see the fight, but you were still getting whatever. And schools are not so strict these days. It's sort of like they used to be really strict, you know, like, especially 100 years ago, I think. But gradually they're not so strict. I feel like every year they get pushed not to, you know, not allowed to hit children anymore. You get a jail sentence where of doing that one. Where I feel like it's every right for a parent to kill, not hurt them in a serious way, but every right to hit their child for the right reasons if it's to protect them in the future.
Yeah.
But I can understand it in a way that children mustn't get hit.
Yeah.
It's not the way to educate children. That's why. And I understand why that it's not right to hit children. We should all grow up, never hit a child. It's never a child's fault.
Of course, yeah.
You know, if a child's done something wrong, it's because he's not been told.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of cases out here, I feel. You know, a lot of criminal actions going on because we're not taught our rights at school or the real world we're living in. I feel like it's something we've got to learn ourselves.
Yeah.
In a kind of way. And I think it's really important to learn your rights in life. It's something seriously important to educate yourself about. There's a lot of things to educate yourself. I mean, I'm still learning in life.
Oh yeah, we learn every day, don't we?
Yeah.
You essentially learn something new every day, you know?
Definitely, you know, but the thing is, I know what I do know. And I feel like whoever you are, you know what you know. You know that whatever you studied at school, and you know what you're good at, and what you're not good at, and so on.
Yes.
And it's your decision in the future what you want to learn next.
Yeah.
In a kind of way, and you know, it's like mankind as a whole. Okay, today, like I said earlier on, our technology's gone really advanced today. But in another year's time, it's going to step up a little bit more. I think. In the next year, we don't stop learning and going forward as a mankind together.
Yeah.
And I feel like as a man, I'm moving forward in time. Every year that goes by, I'm slightly wiser, or I know more.
Yeah.
I mean, the last few years I've been teaching myself video software, how to put videos together and things. And I felt, well, I spent quite a bit of time with it, quite a number of days or weeks, whatever. And I've taught myself how to do that now. Yeah,
you mastered the art of
and it's like, as I've said maybe in previous episodes, cooking. You learn how to cook. You know you can cook.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem anymore, is it?
Yeah.
And you know, it's like, what should I learn next? Now I know how to do video editing. So if anyone asked me to do it, I could do it for them.
Yeah.
I know how to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, I know how to cook, but do I know how to cook everything, like an apple pie?
Yeah.
And if I don't, it's up to me to learn how to do it if I want.
Yeah, if you choose
if
to.
I like apple pies,
Yeah.
for instance, you know.
Yeah.
I think we learn as people, as we get older, as every year we get older, we learn about ourselves. We learn about what we like and what we don't like.
Yes, yeah.
Well, you know, even today I'm still learning about myself.
Yeah.
And there's some things I don't love about myself. I feel, and it's up to me to do something about those things I don't love about myself to make myself a better person, I suppose.
That's it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Education is so important, mate.
Well, it is. And it's. I think it's quite a good thing to talk about. Or a very interesting thing to talk about. And I think even at school they should even talk about it.
Yeah, I honestly believe, right,
it
mate,
should be a subject.
especially in this day and age that we live in, right, when you're really educated, it's like such an advantage, you know? If you're educated in lots of different fields and got lots of different knowledge on lots of different things, and can hold a conversation, you see what I mean, in any kind of, you know, realm of life, if you see what I mean, in any scenario, no matter who you're speaking to, you can hold, you know, you know.
Well, so you can't accept a French person.
No, but I mean, like, just I just mean not from a language perspective. I mean, just mean being able to, you know, communicate with all people of all walks of life, essentially, people that are, you know. So yeah, definitely.
I mean, you can be. I mean, we really need to be educated in self-defense as well.
Yeah.
How to defend ourselves.
Yeah. There's so many different aspects of education, isn't there?
There is indeed. Even how to learn how to look after yourself and clean yourself.
Yeah, personal hygiene and self-care and yeah. That's one of the more important ones, I think. You know, that people don't really talk about a lot. Really, is, you know, personal hygiene. You know, that is so important. You know, keeping clean and looking after yourself. You know, it's healthy as well too. You know, just having a bath once or twice a day. You know, it's just, you know, it's healthy. You know, keeps you clean. You know.
Not just for that, it's for good appearance, isn't it?
Yeah, that too.
To other people.
That too. You know, and not only that, but you feel good. You feel good. You know, when you're clean and shit, and you know, you feel good. You know, you feel ready to face it.
You feel better.
You feel ready to go, ready to take on the world, ready, you know, refresh. You know, good, you know.
You feel better after a bath.
Yeah. You know.
And I know some people in the past that didn't even bother having a bath in a funny way. You know, I think. Sometimes you've got to tell these people, haven't you?
Well, I'm not going to lie to you, right, mate? It's not till I come back to the UK that I really experience that, to be honest, though, you know. Like, because obviously growing up in a place, obviously predominantly for the first 18 years of my life, well, 20 years of my life, I come back when I was almost 20, so like, first 19 years of my life, I was living in a hot country, so naturally you're sweating every day, you're hot, you're sweating, so naturally you're going to take a shower at least twice a day, at least twice a day, so maybe sometimes 3 times a day, even, you know, you never know, depending on, you know, it's extremely hot, you see what I mean, you know, 1 in the morning, go to work, you know, by the time you get to work, you might be so hot you already started sweating already, before you even started work.
So it's a case of having 3 showers a day sometimes.
Yeah, so most of the time it'd be 2 for sure, because you know, have a shower before you go to work all day, obviously come home, you know, take a shower, and then you know, after work, and you know, you're good to go. But yeah, like, to me that was just always a normal, natural thing. Like, it was never something that you kind of like questioned or like really, like, you know, it just was part of just like a normal routine for, you know, the average person, if you see what I mean. And I remember when I first came back to the UK, and certain people tell me like they could come to work without having a shower or having a bath before they're going to work, and like things like that. Like, it was just like different to me, if you see what I mean, because I think, you know, it's not how I grew up, if you see what I mean. It's not what I experienced, you know. So the fact that I remember people telling me they come into work a 12-hour shift and not even had a bath or brush their teeth. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, I couldn't do that. Like, you know. Much rather wake up half an hour earlier, 45 minutes earlier. If you see what I mean. Make myself clean and ready to face the world. You know, make myself a cup of tea, coffee, and on the way. You know.
Learn how to live in this world too, haven't we?
Yeah. How to survive.
But I mean, I think like going back to school, okay, there's certain subjects like, what was subjects at my school? Woodwork, metalwork, history, maths, English, art, PE. But there's not, I feel like it's just kind of forced on there a little bit, you know, and I feel like even when if say I had to do a story of some sort, so I did my story and it was sort of like red lines around it where I did so many mistakes and they didn't like it and I was marked on, you know, it's like, they didn't really bother, or you know, they only sort of like give the good children badges in this world, and sort of like leave a lot of children behind a bit, I feel. And it leaves a little bit of unhappiness in that child. You know, sometimes I mean, I didn't personally as a child, okay, because I kind of had a happy childhood.
Yeah.
You know, I was happy,
Mm.
but I wasn't happy going to school.
Mm.
But you get some children that get so unhappy that they even want to take their life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they,
That's happened for sure.
well, a lot of times.
A lot of times. Yeah.
A lot. I'm telling you, a number, thousands of children that are unhappy. One because they're away from their home and mother.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what age. They might be 8, 9.
Yeah.
I mean, by 10 they start getting used to it, or
Mm.
11. You know, then it's kind of like by the time they're 12, their mum and dad don't really matter to them because their parents are basically their teachers in a funny way.
Mm.
That's a strange world we're living in. You know, I feel like we're being kind of broken up into pieces.
Yeah.
And
Divided.
forced learned in a funny way.
Mm.
By sticks, you know, at first. Like I told you the story of my mum. Okay, she's exactly 20 years older than me because I was born on her 20th birthday. So when she was at school, I think she was only sort of like age 12 or 11. They do statue at school with the bell rings.
Okay.
You've got to stay still, like that.